As a former Missouri cop and probably one of the most interviewed ex-cops in Missouri after the Michael Brown shooting, I want to say that the attitude of District Attorney George Barnhill in reference to the killing of Ahmaud Arbery is very, very disgusting. You know, I want to read everybody a statute in the state of Georgia, and it's all over the United States, and it's about involuntary manslaughter. In my opinion, the two men that shot this young man are guilty of involuntary manslaughter, virtually by statute, meaning you don't really need much of an interpretation. The way that the district attorney and probably the defense attorneys are trying to say that the initial act of the men that shot Arbery was justified, therefore it was not involuntary manslaughter. Well, let me read involuntary manslaughter according to the statute. Now, this is the Georgia statute as of 2010, which is the codes, the laws, okay? And this is section 16-5-3. It says involuntary manslaughter by definition. A person commits the offense of involuntary manslaughter in the commission of an unlawful act when he causes the death of another human being without any intention to do so by the commission of an unlawful act other than a felony. Now, I'm going to read that one more time. A person commits the offense of involuntary manslaughter in the commission of an unlawful act when he causes the death of another human being without any intention to do so by the commission of an unlawful act other than a felony. Now, so that means that if what these men did was in itself unlawful, then the shooting was also unlawful. And they want to say that this was self-defense. How many innocent black people are sent to jail, should I say killed, because some white person or some person wants to justify a white person's actions? Now, you so-called white Christians that are out there that are so quick to want to run to Africa, why don't you run to the defense of this mother? Now, many of you, I've talked to some of you. Many of you sit back and you know full well that some of the things that are done are wrong, and you talk about them. I've heard you talk about them. But you don't do anything to stand up. I guess you figure it's black people's responsibility to stand up. Well, I say that the black folks need to stand up. Prosecutor Barnhill, let me ask you a question. What if black people will start trying to find some things that white people are doing wrong? For example, a lot of you like to drink. Suppose we find some of you that are drunk somewhere and we decide to call the police and we feel threatened and then we pull out a gun and then you know y'all like to fight. And then your drunk person starts to fighting and tries to take the gun from some of our people and then they just shoot them and kill them. What if they start doing that? Are you really bringing about peace in your area in Georgia when you set that type of precedence? Or are you just saying, well, it's only going to be white people that are going to exercise the law in the way that I'm interpreting it? It'll only be white people that will stop somebody and think they're committing a crime. What if one of our black people goes to downtown St. Louis, Georgia, where you reside, and there's a report that somebody has a missing child or whatever, and they stop somebody in a vehicle just like the one that came on the Amber Alert. And then, you know, you guys, you definitely not going to stand for a black person. A couple of black people stopping you, saying that, hey, we think you might be guilty of a crime of abducting a child. Then you're going to fight, and then our guys decide to shoot and kill your people, your white people. Would you call that justified? Hell no, you wouldn't. So you need to come up off of this stupid mess. And black people, you need to get up off of being so doggone weak. See, this prosecutor knows that he cannot go back around those white people and give some weak sentence and try not to defend white people. So, and to your Uncle Toms that we have, not Uncle Tom, what I understand, wasn't a bad guy. He got that name. But let me get back to you traitor blacks who want to trade off your black culture and all the suffering of your black people to be liked by white people. You're no different to them than Ahmaud Arbery. Just your time has not come. Now, back to the prosecutor, you really need to think about this, because at some point, you're going to help push black people over the limit. You do not want anybody doing what these people did. Stopping people saying that they think that they committed a crime. Everybody would get mad and want to wrestle. If you jump out and saw a couple of black guys, prosecutor, saying that they looked at your car, they don't know you're the prosecutor, and think that you may have committed a crime, you would be highly upset and probably go for your gun. See? You cannot have that as a basis for any type of stop. You think up there in New York, stop and frisk was an issue? If you let something like that go down in Georgia, that's worse than stop and frisk. You're letting citizens stop and do what they want to do. So I'm through with it. I'm a former 22-year cop in Missouri. Don't need to give my name because I don't need your crap. But I'm saying that prosecutor, district attorney, you need to do your job and do it right. Quit looking at color. Quit trying to vindicate and exonerate, rather, a person before they even go to trial. That's all I've got to say.